With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 4 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
All professions and sciences derive life, pleasure, and warmth from the rays of the saints' inspiration. But for their inspiration, all tasks would be utterly without relish and enjoyment. Please continue watching for more teachings by Rumi, vegetarian, the venerated enlightened Sufi master and poet.
But where do vegans get their protein from? Where do you think your protein gets its protein from? Eating meat is not only an inefficient way of getting protein, it's unnecessary and harmful to your health, the environment, and the animals. You can get more than enough protein from plants. Trust me, go vegan. John Rush, vegan.
Assalamu alaikum is a traditional Arabic greeting used in Syria which means peace be upon you. Gentle viewers, I am Jamal. The resilient Syrians pray that people of all nations live together in harmony and friendship. May loving kindness radiate through all corners of our world.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God and Supreme Master Ching Hai, shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
Welcome to From Rumi's Fihi Discourses 53, 54, and 57, Part 1 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. Maulana Jalaluddin Muhammad Balkhi Rumi, vegetarian, known simply as Maulana in Persian and around the world as Rumi, was a poetic genius, a theologian, and an enlightened master who graced our planet 8 centuries ago. The deep and diverse influence of his legacy remains and continues to awaken the hearts of many, transcending all cultural boundaries. His prolific work has been translated into many languages. The venerated Master Rumi was heir to the rich literary and cultural heritage of Persia or ancient Iran and composed his great mystical poems in the Persian language. He was born in the city of Balkh, which was part of the Persian Empire that is today found in Afghanistan. He lived and worked for most of his life under the Seljuk Empire, passing from this world in the city of Konya, which is in present-day Turkey. Fihi ma Fihi, which translates to "It is what it is Rumi's most famous prose work. It is a collection of 71 discourses on various topics related to daily living. As with all his other works, it offers his great wisdom and insights.
I used to always call myself an animal lover, and it was even at one point where I thought I wanted to be a vet because I loved animals so much and I wanted to do whatever I could to help animals, but I never really made that connection to what was on my plate, to who those products were coming from. I never saw the process. I just grew up knowing this is food and that's it. I didn't think about the sentient creature that lost their life and had to suffer and die for me. So that's ultimately what led me to going vegan. Once I made all of those connections, it was pretty much like I'm now living aligned with my morals, because my morals were always vegan. I just didn't realize how my actions didn't match my morals.
So initially I turned vegan because of health. I was not well and my doctor told me to go vegan for a while. And when I turned vegan, I experienced amazing results. My energy levels rose like anything. And then after that I came to know about the cruelty aspect. And I was blown away. I didn't know that, the dairy cows go through so much pain and torture and death eventually because of us. Dairy cows die at the age of 7 because of us. The male cows are dead when they are born because of us. And all this blew my mind. I had sleepless nights all over. And that's where the turning point came, and I turned vegan forever and ever.
Turned vegan? Oh, you can't go to hell anymore. Sorry, man.
Today, it is a delight to present excerpts of Rumi's teachings from the Fihi ma Fihi Discourses 53 and 54. Discourse 53. Rumi was asked the meaning of the following lines from his Masnavi. "You are that very thought, my brother. Those bones and nerves are something other." Rumi said, "You should think about this. That very thought in reality is not thought at all. And if it is, it does not belong to the kind of thought that people usually mean by the term. In using the word thought, my intention was the idea or essential element. If you need to put this idea into a more humdrum way so that common people can understand, then say the human being is a speaking animal. speech is thought, whether spoken or not. The rest of the human being is animal. Therefore, it is perfectly true to say people consist of thought, and the rest is bones and nerves. Speech is like the sun. All people derive warmth and life from the sun, and the sun is always there. The entire world is warmed by the sun, yet the sun's rays are not always visible. When thought is expressed through word or sign, be it thanks or complaint, good or evil, then the sun of speech becomes visible, just as the rays of the celestial sun become visible when they shine upon a wall. So, the rays from that sun of speech only appear through the medium of letters and sounds, though always present, for that sun is subtle, and he is the all-subtle. Some element of grossness is required for it to become visible and apparent. A certain man said that God had no meaning for him. The word left him bewildered and frozen. When they said, "This is God's creation, these are His commandments, and these are His laws," then he felt the warmth of those rays. So, although God's subtlety always existed and shone upon that man, until they explained it to him through the medium of commandment, creation and law, he was unable to see. Therefore, speech is a subtle sun shining continually, without ceasing, and we need some gross medium in order to see and enjoy it. But once you can see those rays and that subtlety without any gross medium, then you find wonderful colors and marvelous spectacles in the depths of that sea. Yet, what is so amazing about that? For speech is always within you, whether you actually speak or not, even if you have no thought of speaking. Philosophers say the human being is a speaking animal. Animality is always within you, as long as you are living, just as speech is always within you. Chewing is one expression of animality. It is not a state of itself. In the same way, speaking and talking are only reflections of speech. People have three spiritual states. In the first, they have no thought of God at all, but worship and pay service to everything else: friends and lovers, wealth and children, stones and clods. Once they gain a little knowledge and awareness, then they serve nothing but God. Yet after learning and seeing more, they enter a state of silence. They do not say, "I serve God," nor "I do not serve God," for they have transcended both. No sound issues from these people into the world. God is neither present nor absent, for God is the creator of both. All words, all sciences, all skills, all professions derive their flavor and relish from speech. The end of that chapter cannot be known, however, for they are only expressions and not the state of itself. This is illustrated by the man who, in seeking the hand of a wealthy and beautiful woman, looks after her sheep and horses, and waters her orchards. Though his time is occupied with those services, their flavor derives from the woman. If the woman were to disappear, those tasks would become cold and lifeless. In this same way, all professions and sciences derive life, pleasure, and warmth from the rays of the saints' inspiration. But for their inspiration, all tasks would be utterly without relish and enjoyment. Discourse 54. Rumi said, "When I first began composing poetry, a great urge compelled me. At that time, the urge was strong. Now the desire has grown weaker and is declining, but still it has its effect. Such is the way of God. he gives life to things in the time of their rising, producing great results and wisdom. Yet in declining, his influence still has its force. The Lord of the East and the West means he fosters both the rising and declining. The Mu'tazilites believe that people create their own acts, that every deed springs out of our own creation. But this cannot be true, for everything that we do is produced through our mind, spirit, senses, or body. Yet we haven't created any of these instruments. Since we are not the creator and are not capable of creating such things, then these functions cannot be fully subject to our control, and it is impossible for us to create an act without these instruments. Therefore, we realize that the true creator of our actions is not our own selves, but God. For more information, please visit rumisite.com.
No to vegan? Only people who want to protect the environment choose it.
Fihi came to us 4 years ago. She was found wandering down the street. She needed some care terribly. Her horrible skin, she has frostbitten ears. Yeah, I was taking her home. We're gonna take care of her. What you doing, Bee? One day, Bee walked into the house, and it was kind of over from there. She's like, this is cool. There's beds, there's scratches, there's all this love.
Spirited viewers, thank you for your presence today for Words of Wisdom. Please join us again tomorrow for From Rumi's Fihi ma Fihi Discourses 53, 54, and 57, Part 2 of 2. Coming up next is Worldwide Rallies, Citizens Demanding Immediate Action to Halt Climate Change, Part 5 of a multi-part series, right after noteworthy news. May Allah's bountiful grace awaken everyone's loving and kind true self.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.